Good evening, humans. Tonight I have an alien story from Hopkinsville, Kentucky, based on true events. Here is the story. August 21st, 1955. It was the kind of August night that weighed heavy on the skin, thick, warm, and still. The crickets droned in the fields of rural Kentucky, and the scent of earth and wood smoke lingered in the air. Inside a modest farmhouse just outside the town of Cali, 12 people gathered around the kitchen table. The Sutton family and a few visiting friends laughed over supper, playing cards and trading stories. The air inside was warm, sticky with heat, and the faint hum of a radio crackling in the corner. Out beyond the light of the house, the field stretched into a sea of darkness. The only sound was the occasional bark of a dog, restless for reasons the family didn't yet understand. Billy Ray Taylor, a guest staying with Sutton, stepped out to the well to fetch water. The air outside was heavier, and the world seemed unnaturally quiet. He lifted the bucket, but something caught his eye, a sudden streak of light cutting across the sky. It wasn't like a shooting star. It was too close, too slow, too deliberate. Billy froze as the glowing object descended silently, its surface flickering with metallic colors, silver, green, gold. It pulsed like it was alive. He watched it drift beyond the tree line and drop into the gully half a mile away. He ran back to the house, breathless and pale. "I seen it," he gasped. "A flying saucer. It went down in the woods." The others laughed at first. The Suttons were practical people, farmers, not dreamers. But Billy's shaking hands and wild eyes weren't easy to ignore. Lucky Sutton, the head of the family, finally stood up. "All right," he said, "let's take a look." Outside, the air felt charged, like the moment before a storm. The night was darker than usual, as though the moonlight had been smothered. Somewhere beyond the fields, the dog began to growl, a deep, low rumble that turned into frantic barking, then a sharp yelp, and silence. Lucky stopped walking. That wasn't no coyote. They turned their flashlights towards the trees. The beams cut through the mist and landed on something reflective. Two bright, round eyes staring back at them from the edge of the woods. The eyes blinked sideways. The shape moved into view, small, no more than 3 feet tall, with thin limbs and a bulbous head. Its skin gleamed like polished tin under the flashlight beam. It raised its long arms as if in surrender. Billy lifted his rifle and fired. The shot echoed through the night, then instead of falling, the figure flipped backward into the darkness as if weightless. They waited. Nothing moved. Then a metallic scrape from above. The roof. "Get inside," Lucky shouted. The family scrambled back into the farmhouse and barred the doors. The women gathered the children as the men stood guard with rifles. The air inside grew thick with fear and the smell of gunpowder. A shadow paced across the window, then another, glowing eyes pressed against the glass. A clawed hand brushed the frame. Billy fired again, shattering the pane, but the creature only tumbled out of sight and reappeared seconds later at another window. From the roof came the sound of something walking, slow, deliberate, scratching along the tin like nails on slate. Lucky fired upward. A shriek echoed. Not animal, not human. The men rushed outside, rifles ready, scanning the roof line. For a moment the night seemed empty. Then a pale, glistening shape dropped from the eaves and floated to the ground. Its movements were slow, gliding, wrong. The men fired again and again, but the bullets seemed useless. The creature fell, rolled, and rose without a sound. For the next 4 hours, the Sutton family endured the siege unlike anything imaginable. Figures circled the house, tapping on windows, scratching at the walls, peering through cracks. Whenever light touched them, their eyes gleamed like liquid gold. Inside, the children whimpered under blankets while the adults stood trembling in the doorway, their weapons shaking. The radio hissed static, then went dead. The tapping on the roof started again, then another sound, soft, mocking laughter. Lucky whispered, "They're playing with us." By 11 p.m. the family had had enough. Gathering everyone into 2 trucks, they tore down the dirt road towards town. The engines roared through the darkness, kicking up dust and fear in equal measure. Billy dared to look out the back window and saw a shape keeping pace beside them, gliding just above the fields, its eyes glowing like lanterns. They reached the Hopkinsville police station, half crazed, bursting through the door, shouting about creatures attacking their home. The officers at first thought they were drunk, then they saw the fear, real shaking raw. Within the hour, the police chief, state troopers, and even soldiers from nearby Fort Campbell followed the family back to the farmhouse. The night was eerily still when they arrived. No lights in the woods, no sounds but the whisper of wind through the trees. Yet the evidence was undeniable. Shattered windows, bullet holes through the walls, strange patches of glowing residue on the ground that shimmered faintly under flashlights. The soldiers searched the area, nothing, no tracks, no footprints, not even a sign of the dog. One trooper swore he saw a metallic figure move between the trees, but when they turned their lights, it was gone. By 2 a.m. the investigation ended. The officers assured the family it must have been animals or pranksters. The Suttons didn't argue, they just wanted to survive the night. The soldiers left, the family locked the doors. They sat in silence, watching the windows. Then faintly, a sound. Tap, tap, tap. Lucky raised his gun. The sound came from the back room. A shape moved in the darkness beyond the curtains. He could see the eyes again, large, yellow, glowing, watching. He fired, and the echo rolled through the house like thunder. But when they looked again, there was nothing there, only the shattered glass, the cool night air blowing in, and the silence of something waiting. Dawn finally broke over the Kentucky hills, washing the fields in gray light. The family stepped outside, exhausted and shaking. The woods were calm, no sign of visitors. But something strange caught their eye, deep prints in the soft earth, near the fence line, not human, not animal, like the impressions of webbed hands with too many fingers. In the days that followed, investigators from the Air Force's Project Blue Book arrived to question the Suttons. They took samples, photographs, and notes. The report would list the event as unexplained. Skeptics blamed it barn owls, mass hysteria, or a practical joke gone wrong, but the Suttons never wavered in their story. They swore those creatures were real, and they had come from somewhere far beyond the stars. The farmhouse still stands today, sagging and forgotten, swallowed by weeds. Locals say on certain nights when the sky is clear and the crickets fall silent, you can still see the lights drifting through the trees, faint, silent, deliberate. And if you listen closely, you might hear it, the tapping on glass, the sound of long fingers brushing against the window. Whatever came to Kelly that night, it never truly left. Did you find that creepy? If you did, like and subscribe. Have a scary night and spooky nightmares.